Hey, welcome to F&G Whiskey. Today we've got a little bit of a different episode for you. If I was new into bourbon, what would I buy? Welcome back, guys. So I had a question: if I was new to bourbon, what would I purchase? And so I decided to go to the liquor store and basically film, if I knew what I knew now, what I would buy starting out. Developing your palate is something that takes a very long time. I've been in the bourbon game for probably like 3 to 4 years, and still my palate's constantly evolving. So I picked out some bottles that are a little bit lower proof, more for that entry level person. So the first one that I got is 1792 small batch. Now this bottle is loaded with tons of flavor, and it's a lower proof, so it's not going to overwhelm the palate, and it's something that you can find on the shelves all the time. I went into one of my local liquor stores and I just filmed a few of these bottles that I would pick, and I put a little narrative on them, and unfortunately, because the music was so loud in there, nothing transferred over. So I'm just going to put pictures up of the bottles that I picked. But yeah, so I'd start with 1792 small batch. The next bottle on the list is going to be Old Forster one. Now this bottle is also great in flavor. It's very inexpensive. You can use it for cocktails. It's 100 proof, so you can proof it down to where where it's not too hot on the palate. Drop a couple drops of water, ice cubes, whatever you prefer. But that's another bottle that I think is very underrated. I think I get orange on that a lot, but it's definitely a solid bottle, and definitely one that I would recommend. Third on the list is a double barreled product, and I've got two. One I would go with Old Forester 1910. The Old Forester 1910 is loaded with flavor. It's in that 90 proof range. It just bursts with flavors. It's one of the best double barrel products out there. The only thing that I would go next, if I wanted something also in that double barrel product, I would go with Woodford Double Oaked. I would go more for a store pick for the Woodford Double Oaked, so you're getting something more unique. If I was picking between the two, me personally, I would take the Old Forester 1910. And yeah, that would be my choice if I was going for a double barrel product. Next on the list is going to be Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Now this bottle comes in, I think it's $19.99. I'll show price right here.
Evan Williams Bottled and Bond.
Now with this bottle, you're going to get loads of flavor. It's bottled and bond, so it's at least 4 years old. It's also going to be at that 100 proof range also, so you can proof it down with a few drops of water or ice if that's what you prefer. Just a great daily sipper. It's going to be more nutty. You're not going to get as much fruit notes on it, but I would definitely recommend this bottle to see what your palate likes, what you like as a bourbon drinker. And then we're going to go to Michters. Michters, I picked basically whatever's on the shelf. They have an American whiskey, they've got their bourbon, and they've also got a sour mash. Those are the three that just pop off the top of my head, but you can't go wrong with any of the Michters products. With a couple of drops of water, for me, a butterscotch note just flies out of that glass for me. So I would definitely recommend trying the Michters. Last but not least, Four Roses Small Batch. I just did a review on this bottle. You get tons of fruit notes on this for a lower proof. This bottle's coming in at 90 proof, and I was blown away by the fruit notes I've got on it. I think in my other video I said Blantons, alternative to Blantons, because you just get so much fruit out of it. And I think it's a really solid bottle. I had never had it until recently, and I'm kind of into the higher proof stuff, so I was blown away with the flavors that I got out of it. I've always heard good things about it, so I wanted to check in that one. Last but not least, if we're going for something allocated that you're looking for in that lower proof spectrum, I would go with Eagle Rare. Now, me personally, I tend to just get store picks these days, coming in at 45%, so 90 proof, and it's a 10-year offering. A lot of people will say, get the Wild Turkey 10. Me personally, wasn't a big fan, but that's about that's what whiskey's all about. It's all about finding what fits your palate, what you enjoy. I'll never say that Wild Turkey 10 year is a bad bourbon. I will just say my palate it doesn't necessarily align with. Now that I'm getting into the higher proof stuff, if I had any advice for somebody new to whiskey, I would say buy those allocated high proof bottles when you see them, but wait till your palate starts to evolve. I remember when I first got into bourbon, I was so quick to pour a Stag Junior, and a lot of times I'd be like, man, it's just hot. It's just hot. I'm not getting any flavor. Give it time. Give it time. Start out with a lower proof bourbon. Pour a little small amount of your higher proof and proof it down to your liking. Bourbon's all about being enjoyed, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into these bottles, so I would never bash any of these products. Thanks for checking out my whiskey list for new people getting into bourbon. Like, comment, subscribe, and always keep searching for that perfect pour.